That is correct.
They're
I saw
undefeated.
that also. Yes, they're undefeated, and in this region, I believe they are, or in their region, they're the only undefeated team left.
And then you look at Mineola, who's undefeated. You look at Caddo, who is ranked in the top 12. So you've got some really tough opponents. That contributes a lot to that offensive, to the defense giving up points. So on paper, I feel like these two teams, although the records are opposite, 3-1 versus 1-3, it looks like they may stack up really nicely against each other and match up well. And guys, I feel like the Eagles, they need to not only get back on the field, but they need that win. They have been so close, played so well against Caddo. It seems odd to say that they've been gaining momentum when they've had 2 losses, but they have. I feel like there's been progress made, and they're just lacking getting over the hump there. And if they could go to Hillsboro against a quality opponent at their place and get that first win, I feel like that would do so much for them, their psyche heading into district. And they need to get back on the football field and keep this going, I feel like.
Let me ask both of you this question. I'm sure both of you had a chance to talk to Coach Hubble recently. What have been the points of emphasis during this open date period that they've had? It came unexpectedly, but I'm sure they had some things that they wanted to work on and correct during this time.
They are working on some things, but Coach Hubble likes to keep those quiet. He likes to strategically just kind of keep those between the team and himself. We don't have injuries. We've been fortunate so far. The coaches did have a chance to go out and scout on this off week, of course.
Right.
And so, that was a plus. And the kids have some time off, so they're going to come back refreshed and ready to go. And hopefully we see that all kind of come to fruition on Friday night. The Buzz brothers will be there.
All of them?
Well, I say yes, but when I go to drive in an hour and 40 minutes, I know I'll be in the car when it's time to go, but I can only speak for myself. So anyway, now as far as our live streaming part, our listeners know that they have been able to watch the Eagles play via Facebook Live, YouTube, but we don't know that we'll have those capabilities in Hillsboro or not. So we will just have to see. It will be on the radio, though.
And is there earlier kickoff or is it normal kickoff time?
I'm aware of a normal kickoff time.
Normal kickoff time is 7:30, so that means you will hit the airwaves at
7:15-ish, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, 7
That's
o'clock.
assuming the engineer, of course, has you ready to go.
Well, see, the engineer is not going to be with us. That's the problem. The Buzz brothers are on their own to fend for themselves from an engineer standpoint, which we can make it happen.
It's an engineer strike.
Right.
I
know we'll get on the air to broadcast.
I know y'all had a little bit of a setback last week. You weren't able to judge the father's wardrobe for homecoming.
Right. That's been rescheduled. That's been
rescheduled. But
fathers have had a chance to
now
make some
y'all
different
get a
decisions
chance to
about
be
their wardrobe.
engineers.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. We're going to do it.
There's
Wow.
2
Okay.
points I'd like to just jump in. I know we're probably in a hurry to get this done. One thing, getting the call on that Friday against Caddo, and the kids kind of got shook and had to tell their parents, look, there may be a chance that we're going to miss the game. The next week, preparing for a wing tee and then playing a spread, and then practicing for 3 days, and then because they practice in the morning. They practiced their full schedule last week before they found out they lost their game.
Yeah.
So, the kids are having to absorb a lot and still come out the other side. Now, the second point, and I think that it's hard on them, but it will make them better when they go into these games, and little hiccups aren't going to throw them off.
Right.
And then the second point, it's hard to tell a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid, hey, y'all are doing better, even though they've only won 1 of their 4 games. But, and I've sat down with Jacob and even Goodson, and the teams that they've beat are 13-0. And all 3 of them are legit contenders.
That's unbelievable.
And for us to have, if you look back at those games, we were ahead of Mineola, and we were still trying to get everything wrapped up. Caddo is just good, and we were trading punches with them to the end. And at the start of the second half against Sanger, we had 3 turnovers and they had a goal line stand. Our kids are playing well.
Yes, they are.
And again, you look at the scoreboard, you don't see it, but they're playing well. And like you said, if they can get over that hump this week and get the win, it's better to play these games. And Van's done it too. It's better to play these hard games when they don't count for playoffs. And we've got those under our belt. I mean, so
out of about 12 quarters in those losses, you played about 3 bad quarters that cost you a loss.
Ate you up.
Right, and to appreciate that, you have to have been there watching. But I'm telling you guys, I feel great about things, about the Canton Eagles.
I agree.
Well, in addition to Canton's trip to Hillsboro, let's remind everyone about the other games that we have going on Friday night. Van will be at home for homecoming against Liberty ILO. We have Edgewood traveling to Blooming Grove. Fruitvale is going to have homecoming this week against the Tyler Heat. And we have Grant Saline traveling to Harmony. And Wills Point has the open date this week.
How about the computer projections?
Yeah, let's go over those real quick.
I'm going to see how they did last week. So Van Center was favored 31-21. So they got that one right.
31-28.
So it's 31-28. Pretty close.
Yeah.
All right. Edgewood was favored 24-6 over Scurry. The score on that was 49-21. Grant Saline was an underdog in that one, 8-0, but they pulled out the victory 36-32. And in Wills Point, they were favored 6-3. They got the shutout win 21-0. So the computer got 3 out of 4 right on last week. This week, Canton and Hillsboro. Hillsboro favored by a score of 14-9. Okay, Van versus Liberty ILO. The computer says 21-6. Van favored in that one. Grant Saline at Harmony. Harmony favored in that one, big 33-0. And then Edgewood at Blooming Grove. Edgewood favored by a score of 20-13. So we'll see how that holds up next week. And hopefully our Van Zant County teams will continue to improve on their record as a whole.
Right. Let's have a clean sweep.
Let's
Friday
do it.
night.
Let's do it. Have we ever done that?
I don't recall it right off the top of my head.
I don't either.
But let's go for it this week. Do we have any other business that needs to be conducted before we say goodnight?
I don't think so.
All right. So for Engineer Ken, for Holly, who was here earlier, also for the Counselor Joel Elliott, T.A. Hale from the Buzz Brothers, and the Mayor and Queen Bee Lou Ann Everett. I'm David Barber, and as always, we like to say thank you for joining us. You've been listening to Hump Day Huddle on the Bee.
And we're going to stay live for just a little bit. We're having some technical problems
All right.
we need to work out. So, guys,
right.
You got anything else to say right quick?
You know any jokes?
None I can tell on the radio.
Well,
And that's your mayor.
Are we
I
going
could
to
do stand-up, but I have to be prepared.
Are we going to be done before the debate? That's the question I have.
We got 40.
I don't know. Probably
40 minutes.
So.
40 minutes.
Well, I think we can probably get back to our houses and be ready.
But we're here at the Q and Brew.
Here's
are.
the Q and Brew,
We-
and we are
Resort.
full. We're
And
full of those cowboy poppers, which
and-
were wonderful tonight.
And we are here every Tuesday night from 6 to 7, right here at the Q and Brew.
And you're welcome to come join us. We
Absolutely.
give away prizes.
And if you miss the live taping, you can always catch the replay at 12 noon and 5 p.m. on KWJB The Bee
On Wednesdays.
on Wednesdays.
That's
right.
important to know, or else you'll get something else.
There have been technical issues all night long.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, on the broadcast, you guys are live on Facebook and YouTube. The problem is there have been in and outs with the internet, whereas we have things, we lose things, we're back on things, and right now John's trying to figure out how to get us back on the air. But you guys are still live on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, for now, until this is, I have no idea how the repeat's going to go tomorrow. But all I can tell you is if I was a guy who was the master of all that is internet, we wouldn't have this problem in Podunk.
We're always
Well-
battling the internet, aren't
Hold
we?
on.
Well-
I need to bring.
My internet was in and out today, too.
Mayor,
Yes.
can we do something about our internet here in Canton? I'm just asking.
Aren't you in charge of the internet?
Aren't you in charge of the internet?
I thought she
Said that out
invented it.
loud. Hey, I got a question.
Here we go with some campaign promises.
Here's the question. How's the internet over at the T.A. Hale agency, insurance agency over there? at the State Farm.
It's good. It's good from time to time. We have internet over there.
Well, congratulations,
I know about
Mayor,
the
the
internet.
queen of the internet. He's
I
got
want
good
you to know,
internet.
the mayor's house didn't have much internet today, so it
Oh,
must be kind of
that's
wood.
it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it. That's
off
the
and
end
on
of the
all
internet
day.
right here.
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching everything, and all of a sudden, and I go, wait a minute, what happened? All these little lights are flickering. I said, no, they're not supposed to be doing that.
How's the internet over at the Elliott Law Firm?
Ours is wired in, and it does well. Ours runs if our internet shuts down, I'm just closed. I mean, it's got our phone, our internet.
So maybe at some point we just need to come over
TVs.
there into the.
He gets it straight from the internet, like
Into
it just
the-
like it's not through a company. It just comes straight from the internet.
The
Yes,
internet.
straight.
And
I
it's
bought it from
hardwired
the
in.
internet.
Yeah.
So we
So
get,
basically, if you're down, everybody's down.
the world is down.
Yeah.
So what we do is we get the counselor, we get into that inner sanctum chamber, broadcast from there.
And I'll be honest with
Ooh,
you.
we could have it
My wife
catered.
does all that, and
Yeah.
I don't have any idea how it works, but it does. It works.
I wonder if the
I'm
Q and
thinking
Brew would cater
broadcast it
for
there,
us.
and then we have Q and Brew come out and bring out all the goodies to feast upon. Right
That's what
there.
I just said. It's called catering.
We don't
You can't
understand
even
that.
spell that.
in
K-A-T-E-R.
I feel
It
like
rhymes with tater.
Who is that? Who's Cater?
we're internet.
Kate who?
At the moment, we're hostages of the internet. Like we're
Yeah,
just
we're
sitting here. We
stuck.
can't
We're
leave.
tied.
Yeah.
Now I will throw this out there since we're sitting here in Canton.
It's like an episode of not Lost in Space, The Twilight Zone.
The
Twilight Zone.
We're just- So I did see that we're still having the trick or treating on the square
Yes.
Okay.
in Canton, and I don't know if y'all came last year. I thought I was going to do a real good job, and I went to Sam's and I bought. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent, but it was
Ungawa.
a bunch. And I bought full-size candy bars,
Ooh.
put my labels on them, and I was like, this is
Ooh.
all right off. I'm going to use advertising, and every kid's going to take a candy bar home, and if their parents get divorced, they might hire me. So
What a plan.
My candy bars were gone in an hour.
What kind did you give out?
We had Snickers, M&Ms.
Oh, the good ones.
The good ones.
not like
Oh.
Reese's
Reese's
candy
peanut butter,
corn
like
or
full-size
What are you giving
peanut
out
butter
this
cups.
year?
Twizzlers.
I'm going to buy about 3 times as much because last year I made 2 trips to the dollar store, and the second time I went, because I went and I thought surely this will be over with another hour, and it wasn't. So I went the next time, and I just bought everything they had, and I spent more at the dollar store than I spent at Sam's, and the candy was not as good. So this year I'm preparing. I've talked to Emily Dunn; she's preparing. I had talked to Lonnie about the roads that are going to be closed. I think we're having some of the police officers are going to come up there to help them cross the road. So we're.
Well,
now
as
Halloween.
someone,
Halloween's on a Saturday.
It is.
right. And as someone who lives on Side Circle, we thank you.
I didn't ask for this.
Oh, well.
But we got it.
Well, I've had as many as 600 at my house, and you just kind of stand on the front porch and throw the candy in the front yard. And if they find it good, and if they don't, it's like, what the heck, somebody will get it.
Well, and I apologize because I'm sure my kids have been to your house.
Well,
We-
good
we-
then.
we've done
Will you
Side
save me
Circle.
something good, and I'll come down to your office.
Come on
Either
by.
either early or the next day. I'm not coming down in the middle of
Can
it
I
all.
can I share a Halloween story?
Yes,
with you?
please do. Please do.
Several years
14, I'm sorry.
several years ago, when Halloween fell on a Friday, it was the week of the Van Wills Point football game on Friday night. It's going to be played in Wills Point. Honest to goodness, the Van Police Department sent us a press release the week prior and said, due to the varsity football game, Halloween will be celebrated in Van on Saturday.
2 days of fun.
Makes
Yes.
sense.
Well,
And
that's,
we go to the ball game at Wills Point Friday night and found out that Wills Point's activities were still scheduled on Friday for Halloween. We had at least twice as many people in the stands at the football game than what Wills Point had because they had their Halloween
They went
activities
trick-or-treating.
and Van didn't.
This may have been that same time. I was in Lubbock when University of Texas played Texas Tech when Crabtree caught the touchdown. That was on November 1st. We were there the night before and did the whole trick-or-treating, and the kids from Lubbock, it just spilled over into Saturday. It's like they still had their costumes on. They had college game day
They were
there.
on a bender.
And it didn't end. So the game was that night, and of course, Crabtree scores. They rush the field. They've been told to leave the field. They kick the extra point. They rush the field. They're told to leave the field. They kick off. Texas gets it, and the time runs out. So 3 times they rushed the field. So they got it out of their system real good. And then the party just continued. And we went back over to where they were tailgating the next morning, and it looked like Beirut after this little bomb went off. I mean, there was stuff.
They had just quit tailgating like 30 minutes ago when you got there.
There were, some of them were still laying in the parking lot, I think.
I don't guess we need to talk about the most recent meeting between Texas and Texas Tech.
Okay,
That
here's
was
the deal.
interesting.
That is, if you want to look up Texas Tech by definition, that's it.
Yeah.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah.
You couldn't try to do that. 15 points.
3 minutes to go.
3:30. It's hey it. I watched it, and I said this is what's going to happen. It shouldn't, but it's going to happen, and then it did.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching the Cowboys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
2 weeks in a row.
those guys get paid a lot of money to know better than
Double-digit lead in
that.
the
Something
fourth
wrong.
quarter.
There's something wrong over there.
And how about
And-
those Stars?
And the Stars had a great year. They had a great season.
That hurt.
Yeah,
That hurt.
That
me.
hurt bad. Yeah.
But guess what? In about less than a month, they'll be back on the ice again.
I know.
Starting
It's
the new
awesome.
season.
I mean, the one good thing about the coronavirus break, we crammed a whole lot of sports in to where now it's just fixing to start all over again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the PGA Tour.
the NBA finals, when they get done, about 2 weeks later, they'll be kicking off
Start
another
back up.
season.
PGA Tour is having multiple majors in 1 year. They're like having 2 U.S. Opens in this year, I think it is.
And baseball playoffs started today. Astros won.
Yay.
And
All crazy.
so
All right.
it's time to wrap it up. So you
Finally.
want me to
What
go?
I'll tell you is we're on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
We are not on the air. I think the transmitter site is having internet issues as opposed to us.
Okay.
The transmitter has gone to the backup computer, but you guys are live on Facebook and YouTube.
Hi, Mom.
They're
But
tired
it's
of looking
time
at
to
us by
wrap
now.
it up.
Wrap it up.
Okay.
Well, once.
Like a chicken and put bacon around it and wrap it.
All right. Well, once again,
Poke it
I'm going
with
to
a fork.
say
We're done.
for Holly, for the engineer Ken, for the counselor Joel Elliott, for T.A. Hale from the Buzz Brothers, for the mayor and the Queen Bee, Lou Ann
you.
Everett. I'm David Barber. Thank you again for joining us. And we always like to say that you have been listening to Hump Day Huddle